Good afternoon. It is Sunday, June 7th, and welcome back to the Pulse at Home. I'm Annabelle Watson.
And I'm Liv McHugh. And while we do have stories to share that were produced over the last weeks of school, there is a more important topic that must be addressed.
Racism worldwide is an issue we cannot and will not ignore. It is important now and always to use your voice and fight for change.
And to recognize that this issue affects our town is the first step in creating change.
At the end of our program, we will list links for donation, petitions, and education.
There should be no debate about ending racism.
It is easy to overlook essential workers who aren't in the medical field during this time, but everyday people like David Gonzalez are putting their health at risk to provide for their families. Daisy Gonzalez brings us a day in the life of an overlooked essential worker.
When you think of an essential worker during this time, you may think of doctors and nurses. Someone that is overlooked along with other essential workers that aren't in the medical field is David Gonzalez, a worker for Thomas's English Muffins.
No, I never thought I would be an essential worker, because when you think of essential worker, you think of police officers, nurses, and doctors. And I'm just a bright guy.
David risks his life to support his family while getting the satisfaction of helping others through a tough time.
It feels good. I feel important that I'm able to provide people what they need on a daily basis, bread and muffins and bagels and stuff like that.
While being an essential worker can be crucial for families, it can also be frightening at the same time.
I feel like we were worried at first, but after coming home and seeing all of the different precautions he was taking, I felt a lot safer.
My work routine has changed, that I've been getting up an hour earlier because stores open up earlier, so all our vendors can avoid customers. The better that we avoid customers, the less risk that we are getting the coronavirus. Wearing rubber gloves and masks on a daily basis, going through routines, getting my temperature checked at various stores before I'm able to enter.
There are many precautions that David has to make when entering his house as an essential worker. One of these many precautions is that he has to sterilize himself before getting to greet his family after a long and tiring day of work.
An essential worker, it's like I said, it's good, but also it's concerning that I'm out there every day and I put my family at risk of catching the disease at any time.
Even though David is able to keep his everyday job and work during this time, it has affected his everyday routine. Just like any other essential worker, David makes a huge impact on people's daily lives, but some may fail to realize that. So next time you see anyone working during this time, even at your local store, make sure you say thank you. From Manchester, this has been Daisy Gonzalez reporting.
As Daisy said, it is important that we thank essential workers no matter what field we're in and appreciate their hard work during these tough times.
With the coronavirus causing parks, courts, and fields to be closed indefinitely, many people have found running as a way to continue their exercise and relieve stress during these times. Kelly Maloney explores the impact running can have, especially now.
Rims taken down, playscapes roped up, parks shut down. Despite the closures, an activity that requires only a pair of shoes has seen an increase in popularity.
I've been running.
Some see it as a way to take up time. I've been trying to run every day and not just sit around on the couch or in bed all day.
So I started my day with a run so that the rest of the day I would feel more focused and productive at work.
While others are using it as a way to make up time.
I was injured during the winter. Now I have all this time for me to actually rebuild and get myself back ready for cross country.
After the swim season, I was just nervous about getting back into running so quickly, knowing I have this whole spring and into the summer to get back into running is nice.
And for some, like MHS junior Anthony Amaral, the cancellation of spring sports has provided motivation for next year.
It makes me want to work harder to make sure I get my good time because it's my last season.
But to Anthony, running is so much more than just the times.
It's kind of like a way to get away from everything, and especially in these hectic times, it helps me just to relax my brain and just get away from everything and makes it seem like things are normal, I guess, again.
It's important to stay active even during these hectic times, and running is a great way to do so. From the Pulse, this has been Kelly Maloney reporting.
While it's not always someone's first choice of exercise, it's definitely a great way to release stress and remain active while everything else is closed.
While being stuck in quarantine isn't the most fun thing, it has allowed us to find new ways to keep ourselves busy. Justin Keller takes a look at new hobbies and hobbies that are being revisited during these boring times.
Being stuck in quarantine only gives a limited amount of activities you can do in one household. However, it has opened the public's eye to new hobbies or past hobbies during this tough time. The paused, busy lifestyle has allowed people like Cynthia Keller to get back to the love of reading.
I haven't picked up any new hobbies, but I have started reading again, which is something that I used to do a lot of, but I never had the time.
While quarantine time has given some people an opportunity to return to old hobbies, others like Robert Keller have found enjoyment in creating new ones.
Yeah, so my mom had a garden growing up, and what we're going through right now is providing me the time to explore gardening. So, what used to be the trampoline area is now a garden where we have blueberry bushes and additional vegetables like tomatoes, zucchini, squash.
Staying in an enclosed environment can open new doors to new hobbies for many people, or revert them back to the old ones. From the Pulse, this has been Justin Keller reporting.
It is important to find a way to stay busy during these times, and finding a new hobby or revisiting an old one is a great way to do it.
With coronavirus closing most doctors' offices and medical practices, all doctors had to resort to new forms of meeting with their patients, and telehealth has made that possible. Ben Roy highlights how doctors feel about this change and how it may be impacting both the patient and the doctor.
As COVID-19 started to gain the public's eye, many workers such as doctors, social workers, and medical professionals did not know what to do. This is where telehealth comes to the rescue. Krista Madden, a social worker from Manchester, feels that telehealth is a very different and interesting approach compared to regular face-to-face sessions.
I've been a licensed clinical social worker for 28 years and in private practice for 12.
Krista also believes telehealth has both pros and cons.
One of the benefits to telehealth is that it allows the client to receive the support and treatment while maintaining social distancing and protecting everyone's health. A negative of telehealth is that we're missing that in-person contact and developing those connections face-to-face in the office.
1 in 4 people worldwide will experience a mental health issue. Do not feel nervous to contact a care provider.
A client will contact me to schedule an appointment, and then we're using a telehealth website. It's called doxy.me, and the client simply signs into my virtual waiting room, and then I'm able to click on their name, and then we begin the session. It's been fairly easy to use.
Telehealth certainly has a surplus of positives. One Manchester resident details the medical benefits of the program.
I don't have to leave my house. If you have an iPhone, it's easy to link to the visit. They get your blood work right online, they view it, and they go over your results. Easy peasy.
Although these unprecedented times have called for many people to be scared to seek medical attention, do not be, as telehealth is here to help. Therefore, if you have any medical concerns, consult your doctor right away to set up a telehealth appointment. From the Pulse, this is Ben Roy reporting.
Telehealth is definitely important, and it has helped lots of people during this time of being stuck at home.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Manchester. Tune in next week as we highlight our graduating seniors and all of their accomplishments in broadcast journalism.
If you have any story ideas we might have missed, email Mr. Larson at b11elars@npspride.org.
And don't forget to follow us on social media and check out our past work by heading to mhstelevision.com.
I'm Liv McHugh.
And I'm Annabelle Watson, and this has been The Pulse.